Right now, higher gasoline and diesel prices are costing the US economy an extra $500 million every single day. Since late February, after escalating conflict involving Iran, oil prices have surged over 50%, with Brent crude jumping from around $70 to over $110 in just weeks. At the center of this is the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow route carrying about one-fifth of the world's oil and gas. When that flow is disrupted, the entire global system feels it. But here's the problem. The number you see at the pump, that's the smallest part of what's coming. This isn't one price increase. It's a five-wave chain reaction. Wave 1, gas prices jumped from under $3 to around $3.70, with some places above $5. Diesel, which powers transport, surged 36%. But for most households, that's only $10 to $15 more per week. So your brain labels it annoying, but manageable. That's where psychology fails you. Through something called mental accounting, your brain separates money into categories. When gas rises, you don't rebalance logically. You cut what feels optional. Dining out, subscriptions, travel, even investing. Wave 2. Groceries. Diesel powers the trucks that move food. So when diesel spikes, perishable food costs rise next. Meat, dairy, vegetables. Stores delay price increases by absorbing costs, but they've already been doing that for months. When they stop, prices jump fast. Wave 3. Fertilizer. The most dangerous. This is the hidden wave. Fertilizer production depends heavily on energy, up to 80% of costs, and a large portion of global supply moves through the same disrupted region. So farmers are already paying more, which means your food months from now is already becoming more expensive today, but you won't feel it until later. And by then, it's too late to prepare. Wave 4. Airfare. Jet fuel is up around 85%. Airlines price tickets months ahead. So flights don't spike immediately. They spike later when you're booking. Wave 5. Interest rates. Rate cuts were expected. Now they're delayed or uncertain. If inflation rises, borrowing stays expensive or gets worse. Mortgages, loans, credit cards, everything tied to borrowing becomes heavier. And when uncertainty rises, people don't just spend less, they freeze completely. Now here's why most people miss all of this. Your brain uses anchoring bias. It focuses on one visible number, gas prices, and assumes that represents the entire situation. So if gas feels survivable, everything else gets ignored until it hits. Then another bias takes over, loss aversion. Loss feels about twice as painful as gain. So when markets drop, and they already have, your instinct is to panic. The S&P 500 is down around 7%. Major indexes are in correction, and volatility is rising. Your brain screams, sell. But history shows something else. Across decades of geopolitical events, markets typically drop short-term and recover later. The people who panic sell lock in losses. The ones who stay consistent capture the recovery. Miss just a few of the best market days, and your long-term returns collapse. This is called the behavior gap, and it's why most people underperform. And there's a bigger risk: stagflation. Rising inflation with slowing growth. The hardest economic scenario to fix. Historically, major oil shocks like 1973, 1979, and 2008 have often led to recessions. And even if things improve, prices don't fall quickly. They rise fast like a rocket and fall slowly like a feather. So what actually matters now? Not predicting what happens next, but how you respond early. The people who come out ahead don't make dramatic moves. They make small ones, early. They don't panic sell. They build 6 to 12 months of emergency savings. They cut unnecessary spending before pressure hits. They keep investing consistently. They reduce high-interest debt. They adjust to rising energy costs. Because once all 5 waves hit together, your flexibility disappears.